So we thought we'd do a live buy your ticket. Well, yeah, that didn't work, did it? It is up to you. Hi guys, FPS Man here, and welcome back to Uninkable Dads podcast. And on today's episode, we're going to be going through some meta set champs decks for you. We'll be talking about a budget competitive deck and some shocking Lorcana news. But as always, I am joined by my co-host, the man who thinks a turn 1 play is a complicated yoga pose. It's Grandad Glenn. So, how has your week been?
My week's been all right. So we've had a bit of a busy week. So we had the 14-year-old had a birthday. Wanted a home gym. So 14-year-old girl. What she want? She wants a treadmill. Can we make the conservatory into a home gym? So we did that. So I can train and get fit for set champs. Unfortunately, I was hoping to turn the conservatory into a Lorcana space with a long big table where we could all get around and play Lorcana. So that's fine. We can still do that. We just have to chuck all the gym equipment out when everyone comes around to play Lorcana.
It's like having a stand-up desk, You can just put a plank of wood over the top of it and you can walk and play at the same time.
There you go. That's a good idea. Yeah. So one person's on the treadmill versus somebody else who's on the exercise bike.
Yeah, that's it. The first one who gets knackered and falls off, the other one wins.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to get a pretty bad losing streak on that.
You don't want to be playing red-blue, do you?
No, definitely not. Aggro all the way, I think.
Yeah, so we had that. That was cool, and unfortunately, then my broadband went down for most of the week, which obviously 14-year-old and 21-year-old at home was the end of the world. There was nothing else to do, so I obviously did grab Deep Trouble off the shelf, the Ursula Lorcana game, and pulled out all the Lorcana deck boxes and got looked at very strangely by my 14-year-old as if to say, what on earth is that? But we got some games in with the others in the household. So that was good, but obviously it's limited my my online testing, which first set champs coming up for me this weekend. Feel a little bit underprepared, so would have liked to have got some more testing in. But yeah, excited to be in the run up to a set champs. Also followed. Obviously, we had set champs going on last weekend, although neither of us were competing. Some of the people from our locals were. So got to follow that and work out the new Ravensburger Play Hub and how you can follow a tournament on that. So that worked pretty well once you got the right day, because I was trying to follow a tournament on the Saturday when the tournament was actually on the Sunday. And
how's everyone doing today?
Exactly.
We're not playing today.
It was me almost throwing the phone about, going, why can't I see what's happening? Why this Play Hub doesn't work? I can't find the tournament. Until one of the lads said, well, it didn't start till tomorrow, mate. So,
well, there we go. At least you're early and not late.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So how about yourself? How's your week been?
Yeah, well, it was all right. Friday went all right. I took my purple deck to locals. One thing I hadn't really tested my purple deck against was aggro. And, the Lorcana gods gave me 3 rounds of aggro on Friday. So that was intense. It went bad. I won 2 and got a draw on the third. So to take a draw on an aggro, that was an absolute back and forth. Yeah, that was a bit of a game, that one, but it was really good. We both, me and I think it was against Vicky, we both really enjoyed that game. At the end of it, we were like, I can't believe that's ended the draw, but that was such a good game. So, but yeah, we played that out, and then I didn't do much over the weekend. I had the kids, so we went to the in-laws, went swimming on Saturday, had a nice chill day Saturday, took the kids home Sunday, and then was ill from Sunday till basically this morning. So yeah, it's been an untesty lay in bed, try not to B2 wheel. But yeah, not too bad. It wasn't too bad. It just means I'm not really ready or set for set champs this weekend. But it's all right. What's the worst that could happen? I'll just take the Blurple deck and see what happens.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see that you're back on your feet.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you having you with us.
Well, can't miss this.
Trooper, storming on through. So yeah, no, good to hear that you're on the mend.
Yeah, definitely. It got to be well enough. I can't miss that chance. So
absolutely. And we're playing at the coast this weekend. So
we are. Yeah, we will be. That'd be
sunshine,
quite nice.
hopefully. Yeah.
Worst case scenario, drop after round 2 and go sit on the beach with some chips and an ice cream. What more could you want?
Absolutely.
You can't have a bad day.
No, even if I don't win any games, I can win best dad bod on the promenade, and maybe even win a cuddly toy from one of them grabber machine things.
I don't know. You're pushing your luck there.
Well, maybe. Probably be easier to win the set champs.
Win the set champs. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a nice one down on the coast. We did quite well last time I went there, so hopefully we can carry on the streak. Talking of set champs and stuff, we've got a few set champs decks to look at that have been doing extremely well the past week.
Yeah. And just before we jump into those, actually though, I just want to, because I've watched a few sort of YouTube videos and try and keep my ears to the ground with what's going on around Lorcana and the community. There's been a few sort of murmurings, a few people saying that set champs have been not so well attended, stores dropping out of set champs, and seems to be a bit of negativity around set champs. But just to say from our point of view, looking at the numbers of set champs have been really good around our area, right? So
yeah, I was going to say that's news to me. That's when you look at ours, I think pretty much every single one of them sold out.
Yeah.
So that's...
So the one at the weekend I think had 36 players, which I think is a record for that store for set champs.
It's normally in the 20s, but yeah.
The one we're playing in Saturday
sold out.
Is normally quite a small one, but yeah, as you say, they're sold out. Another one that we've got coming up is sold out. So yeah, I think it obviously all depends, where you're playing, I guess, and what sort of community you've got. We've worked hard in our local area really to build a community, and a lot of us travel together to these different local tournaments. Which is a big part of it for me. Really enjoy that. But yeah, just to say, so if you're feeling a bit negative or you're hearing some negativity, absolutely, Lorcana is alive and buzzing. And if it isn't quite doing that in your area, then look, actually, our contact details are in the channel. Get in touch. We'd be very happy to have a chat around some of the things that we've done. Maybe some tips on what's worked in our local area to grow the community. But yeah, from what we're seeing, it's just bigger than ever. And I think that beautiful playmat and those stunning enchanted cards, certainly around our way, are enticing people out, and we're getting some really good set champs.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I say, even our Friday night locals, the last 3-4 weeks have been 16 plus people on a Friday night. So for us, it seems to be getting busier and busier. I think if everyone actually turns out to a locals, there's probably pushing 30 of us now. Just on a Friday night. Okay, so we have a few deck lists for you. These are all taken from other events that have taken place over the last weekend. And we're going to cover the first, what we're going to say pretty much tier 1 or S tier, or however you want to describe it, the 3 strongest decks currently in the meta. Obviously, this can change in your area, and it can change week by week. It only takes a couple of people to notice something big, and all of a sudden the deck can jump up. But these are going to be the first 3, and then we've got one that does really well just in general, and then our budget deck. So For the first one, I mean, you can't really go wrong with this deck. It's a very, very strong deck, and it's obviously DKP's list. This is a slight twist on it, I believe, because obviously you got Goofy in here, and you've got the one of Hades is a little bit odd in this deck. I get it. I think they've obviously dropped one CC for a Hades. And the only thing I don't like about it is the one hideaway. Because it's like, what the chances of you actually finding that one card when you need it? But I get it. 90% of your matchups, you're not going to need it. It's only really for the mirror to put carpet bag into the ink. Apart from that, you're pretty much set. So, but yeah, it's just a strong deck. I mean, it's hard to defeat it in any deck really. I think the only one that really pushes this and gives it any real trouble is a bit of discard, because if you get the discard at the right time, or possibly the one card in steel with Pete. Apart from that, it's quite hard to stop really, especially if they draw the cards at the right moment.
Yeah, I mean, playing against red blue control feels like arguing with a teenager. They don't attack, they don't listen, and somehow you're the one that's losing.
Yes, pretty much.
But yeah, I mean, this deck is aiming to. It plays no 1-drops outside of Porpsicle.
Yeah.
Doesn't play the bell. So it is. Well, sorry.
I suppose that's why the Goofy's there.
Develop.
Right? So.
Yeah, develop or Porp on turn 1. Draw a card. Ramp on 2. And then you can go immediately into your goof if you need to slow down some aggro, and then you've got the likes of Grand Mortala to draw you more cards. But this is all about your big cards, right? And getting that Maui Half Shark down really, because Tipo, Goofy, and Tala are your only characters below 5 cost. You've then got Maui Hero to all to sort of challenge the board, and then Maui Half Shark and an absolute bunch of actions to use with Maui Half Shark. A Pirate's Life being the one that sends shivers down my spine. To be honest, when your opponent starts chaining a Pirate's Life against you, it's very, very difficult to.
Especially when they've got those invisible Grand Mortalas as well.
Invisible Grand Mortalas, yeah.
It's just so hard.
Absolutely. They completely mess with your calculations. And the one, as you say, the one Hades in. I think that problem with the Sisu is it can just be a brick. There's no small Sisu to shift onto in this list, right? If you've got the small Sisu to shift onto, then you're playing this on 6, but with no small CC, you've got to play this out for 8 ink. So if you've ramped once, that's effectively turn 7. That's too slow for a lot of things that CC would deal with.
Yeah.
I can kind of see why they've trimmed a CC and gone for the Hades. The Hades, obviously, really good against opposing Maui Sharks.
Just like Hades is there for the mirror as well, isn't he?
Yeah. And Maleficent Dragon. So just one off, but nice to see the dragon back in. We don't know if the dragon's being reprinted, do we? We know that it's coming out as an enchant, as a.
It's the next set champs card.
Next set champs card.
Yeah, so
but that
you would have thought they're going to give us something that's playable.
You would have thought so.
There is no.
They have said that's. No, they have said it's not a guarantee. Is it? A promo isn't a guarantee of it being reprinted. But
I'm going to
hopefully, hopefully we'll see it coming back and we'll see it seeing some more play.
So moving on, what we're going to say is the second on. We'll put all these as level. So the next S tier deck or tier 1 would be the Sapphire Steel Aggro. So obviously we say aggro because there are 2 versions. You've got Steel Song, which obviously has been around for a long time, and then you've got the aggro version, which is relatively new. Obviously people have played it as an aggro deck, but I think Lady's the one that's really converted this deck. Without Lady, this is still okay, but Lady's the one that really makes it awkward. She is the big power card that if you manage to get Lady and say into a dock or Lady into a Smee down on turn 3, it can almost win you the game sometimes. I remember I played a few against this deck where I've taken control of the early game and managed to take out a Daisy and a Piglet and something else, and you're like, right, okay, I've got control of this, and then they do Lady Dock, and then next turn it's like Smee and something else, and you're like, all of a sudden, like, where on earth did that come from? So, but yeah, it's again a very powerful deck. But yeah, anything you want to point out on this one?
Well, yeah. So we've looked at Amber Steel on this channel before, but what's new here is this dump truck card. So this is quite a new addition to the deck that's become sort of popular lately. So he's a 1-cost 0/1. When you play this character, you may deal 1 damage to chosen character. So he's like a weaker fire the cannons with a body.
Yeah, I don't personally. I don't get it. I don't see. If it was 2, 100%, because it takes out Cindy in the mirror, it takes out Lilo, it takes out Piglet, it takes out so much. But if it was a 2, I think it'd be broken. It'd be too good. So I don't quite understand by putting that 1 damage on. I suppose it puts a 1 damage on a Pluto, which could help. It is also chosen character, so technically you could damage your own thing to heal Rapunzel, but that would have to be turn 5. And if you're playing Rapunzel turn 5, you've probably already lost. You need to, if you're playing a dump truck to damage one thing by 1 to draw with Rapunzel, that game's not going very well.
I guess it nicely deals with things like Chernobyls, Diablo.
Yeah, I think that's where it goes.
Merfolk.
It's up against purple and green purple. Like I say, Merfolk, Lilo. No one's playing Lilo currently, but it gets rid of those early cards that could be an issue if they have crab. So, a Diablo doesn't look very threatening on the board on its own, but if turn 3 they're going to hit it with a crab and then swing it into something that makes a big difference. So I suppose there are a few cards that you would quite happily take out with this, but yeah, to me it's not one that jumps out at me. But then I haven't played this deck enough to really.
I have to say I'm kind of with you, given it's uninkable. I mean,
but then this
only
is
2 ladies as well. As you said, that lady is such a powerful card.
Yeah.
For this deck, so only played 2 of it.
Yeah.
I think I would want a high count of lady. And I'd be happy to cut a dump truck to do that.
I suppose the thing is, though, you need a decent amount of 1-drops for this deck, and I suppose if there isn't really others that are gonna cut it, then may as well. But I could be completely wrong. Obviously, leave a comment below if there is a card or a reason why this is in here that makes it so good. But I just can't see it. But that might have been where I've been playing so much Blurple. I'm like up against this. If I'm putting something down and you're playing this, I'm like, yeah, you hit my T-bow for 1. You put 1 damage on Bill. So for me, it's not going to do anything. So, but if you are playing green purple, this could do a fair bit of damage, I suppose. So. But then talking about green purple, shall we actually have a look? So I suppose when you're looking at this, it can take out the 1-drop Diablo. Again, if you've got 2 of them, I suppose you could take out the 3.
Oh, does it take out Iago's?
No, because it's not an action, is it?
No, is it?
When you play this character, you may deal 1 damage character. And Iago is
chooses character for an action.
Yes, I suppose it is. Yeah, because technically, an ability on a card is an action, I believe. So that may deal with
Again, let us know in the comments
vanish
if you know
cards.
the exact answer. But yeah, it looks like that might deal with which, if that's the case, I mean
That's really good. That's
yeah,
gone from being
yeah,
to oh, okay, yeah,
yeah. I
yeah.
pay one to get rid of Iago is yeah,
I will. I will go in the judge chat and ask, but I'm pretty sure now thinking about it that the ability is an action. You like finish that action, so yeah, that's actually better than I thought. I need to watch out for that one. I mean,
yep.
steel on ink Iago anyway, so if you're playing anything with steel, most of the time he ends up in the ink. But yeah, so on to this one then, which is the green purple discard. This is the one that I think has the best, probably the stronger matchup into the other two. Just because you've got so much flexibility in this. This is, it is the Swiss Army knife for decks. You can pretty much do anything with it, and you can go for a very wide version, or you can go more controlled discard, which this one is. When you've got so many options of Diablo and getting that shift down, if you can shift and sing friends, that's massive. You're all of a sudden, you know, turn. Well, it's turn two, but you're still putting a lot of pressure on the board, being able to draw cards from them and yourself on turn two,
Yeah.
and then going straight into discard from there. It adds quite a lot of pressure on. So especially if you're playing
Or
Ursula.
would you even think about singing Sudden Chill on that turn because you play Ursula with the
Not until you
card?
got Prince John down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could be wrong. Obviously, again, if you're a green purple player, let us know. But I would have said the line would be shift Diablo, play Ursula, sing friends to make sure you got options in your hand and discard
Yeah, and
cards
then
in
get
your
that
hand.
Prince John down.
Then Prince John, Ursula sings Sudden Chill, which then gives you options to either sing something else like Friends with Diablo or sing another Sudden Chill if you've got
Yeah.
it. But yeah,
And
obviously
pull
you've
the
got
lever and wrong lever in this are so good.
yeah,
Because just having that versatility with pull the lever, so obviously you can draw two cards, or you can make your opponent discard a card, and then once it's used, it's in the discard, so that wrong lever can take it from the discard, put it on the bottom of your deck, and it means that wrong lever can just not banish, but get rid of an opposing threat. So any one of your opponent's cards that don't have ward, you can put straight on the bottom of their decks.
One thing I found with this as well is I was always looking at it that they were going to have to pay free for pull lever and then free for wrong. Whereas really with Diablo in this, you don't. You could discard pull lever with Diablo
Yep.
on the shift and then just free cost wrong lever, which makes wrong lever even more powerful. Because you just automatically think, oh, well, they have to play it for it to be in discard. But it's not the case. It could technically, you could wrong lever on turn three. Which I suppose if you have to in that amber steel get rid of a daisy or something like that, that could definitely make the difference. But yeah, one thing I always find surprising with this deck is the chip. I don't know why, but whenever I've played this deck or tried to build this, I can't help myself but put 4 chip in. I think he's just too good. You discard a card and he's got a decent stat line body. He's a 2/3. 3/2, sorry. So he still attacks for free. So he's still going to do a fair amount of damage. And it's all good because they can't use muses or kit or anything like that to bounce. So it's quite an awkward number to get round. But yeah, it always seems to be a 2. Maybe that's where I'm going wrong.
I guess it's just where you what you cut to make that a 4.
Well, yeah,
Right.
no, fair. Yeah.
But, I mean, you can maybe play a low count of pull the lever and wrong lever.
Yeah, potentially, but then you need those
I'm not
actions for the reliability on Diablo shift, don't you?
on Diablo. Yeah.
So, yeah, potentially. Again, green purple players, let us know. Maybe we'll speak to Chris. He's the green purple master.
Yeah.
We'll get his
Have a chat
opinion
to
on
the
it.
guru.
Yeah. So going from there, we have one that has always done well and it seems to be making a slight return, which is the Steel Song version of Amber Steel. Now, this did quite well at weekend. It come first in a 63-player tournament, which is, pretty good.
Yep.
And it's hard to beat. It's really hard to beat. Just when you think, they're down on everything and everything seems to be going your way and they're holding that whole new world in hand and all of a sudden Prince of the Mean comes in and you're like, oh, damn it. So, yeah, it's been quite hard. I've played this with my Blurple deck a couple of times, and it's a really difficult match. It's not easy at all. What are
Yeah,
your
and they've got
thoughts
the
on it?
Rhino. Well, they've got the Rhino and the Robin Hood, so I can see situations where both of those one drops are on board, and you're having to try
Decide which one to get
and
rid of.
decide. yeah. Which have they got in their hand? Which one, if they've got both, is going to be the most damaging to you? Two very powerful shift lines. I like the World's Greatest Criminal Mind in here. 2 copies of. Just think with some of those heavy Blurple cards as well as the Shark, etc. That's a really, really nice removal tool. An inkable 3-cost singable card. So yeah, as you say, it's been a strong deck since set 1, right?
Yeah,
Just is a deck that works, and it seems to find a slot in the hands of someone that knows how to play the deck. It always seems to have a chance, whatever the meta is. But yeah, so yeah, definitely an interesting deck. It's a fun deck to play. I think. I think you feel like you've always got agency,
yeah.
pretty much. So long as you don't, I think probably discard is your worst enemy here.
Yeah.
Just running out of cards early. That's the only way that you really feel like
Well,
you
it's,
can't
it's
do
them
much.
Ursula in the whole new world at the wrong time, and so if you can get rid of that whole new world at the right moment, it really can
Yeah.
almost end this deck.
But
Yeah,
yeah, just the power of being able to sing those songs, remove things from your opponent's board, and then build a wide board yourself. But also, you've got you're not just building a wide board of low strength characters. You've got your Rhino, you've got your Robin Hood in there. So you've got a bit of power when you need it as well.
yeah, definitely. Just thinking about it as well, that dump truck also works quite well in this because it would put 1 damage on Rhino, which means he doesn't have resist on the shift. So yeah, those little things, you don't spot these, but they are there. They're there for a reason. Yeah, so overall, I think it's one of those very powerful decks that does very well, and it obviously held up very well against 63 other players to come out a winner on this one. So they did very well. So going from there, we've looked at 4 decks that are very powerful, but some of them are quite expensive, especially the DKP, and Amber Steel's not too bad, but DKP is really expensive. So going from there, we like always, we like to bring you we're not going to call it a budget deck because we call these budget decks, and we had a comment the other day saying this isn't budget. It's £120. It's like, I get that it's not budget as in you can go pick it up for a tenner, but it's budget compared to what's out there.
I mean, I would say anything sub £100
Yeah,
is budget in Lorcana, right? To be honest,
it's budget if you want it to be competitive. If you
yeah.
want a deck to be budget for you to play kitchen countertop pick up a star deck, that will do the job. It's a budget deck. It will, allow you to play the game. But if you want a competitive budget deck, then you're probably looking around the 100 mark, aren't you? Really, anything below that is obviously a bonus. So, yeah,
And I mean, these are all, there's one. I mean, the other way of looking at it is the one super rare in this deck. There are no legendaries. So, if you're somebody that's playing Lorcana, you're buying product, you are probably picking up most of these cards. You're probably not going out and buying them all as singles, because all of these commons and uncommons you've probably got.
Yeah.
Or, if you've got a sizable community at your local game store, you've probably got people at your local game store that will hand you some of these cards, because they've probably got, box loads of the commons and uncommons. So yeah, we're sort of taking that approach on it when we say it's a budget deck, because we're not expecting that you're kind of probably going out and buying every single card as a single.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, especially if you go to your local game store and have a look, that you might find they've got a lot of the common and uncommons in their bulk, and you'll be able to pick them up from there. But yeah, this deck has done, and it's come first in a 38 player tournament. This is it Southside game?
Southside Gaming, yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's
very well known store, would have had some very good players there, most likely.
I believe it's is it Zan's local? Is that somewhere else?
He certainly plays at some of the
I know he's been
Southside Gaming events. Yeah.
So yeah, it's obviously done extremely well on that day, and it proves that with the right card you can win it. You don't have to have the very expensive Maui Sharks, for instance, or the Tamatoas to be competitive. Obviously, you do have to learn to pilot the deck and run it well, but you need that with any deck. So
I'm not sure I like the 3 1-offs. I mean, that it won, so
yeah, it's difficult to say, isn't it?
To Alex, he's obviously tested it, and I haven't, but 3 Mr. Smees sort of jars with me a little bit. Is the best 2-drop in the game. I think I would always run 4. I'm okay with the 1 Elsa. I'm more and more finding that she's
this is a slightly more fast version. This is it's not an aggro deck, but slightly towards that. So Elsa in here is to help you finish or challenge or take something out that you really need to, but it's not there to help you control the game. If you're needing to use Elsa here to control the game, you're already in a losing position. I've played a couple of games online, so I built something close to this. And the giant cobras and goats are just too good. They really are. It's like I was on like 14 lore and I had 2 giant cobras in hand. I was like, well, I just play things on board, and if they stick, I just quest for 2 and then play 2 giant cobras. It's like it really doesn't matter here. I know I've got game in my hand. All I've got to do is just get 2 more lore. So that card is so good. And if we've worked out that obviously Dump Truck can take out Vanish or Vanquish cards, then that obviously can take Cobra out once it's on board. But obviously, while it's in your hand, there's not much you can do. So I think, again, this is the sort of deck that will struggle to discard. And discard has such a strong, ability at the minute, because so many decks are running not low on card draw, because they're not. This has loads, but they're running close to that line where they've only got 2 or 3 cards in hand. They're not like 6 or 7. They're running on that borderline that if you can discard at the right time and the right amount, you could empty the hand, which then changes the game. But yeah, it's a very strong deck. Very strong deck.
And if you're an Amethyst fan and you're a bit concerned about rotation coming up, here's your opportunity to play the full bounce package.
Yeah.
Because we've got snake, we've got fox, we've got crab, goat, and rabbit. So if you're a fan of the bounce package and you want to play it before it disappears, we don't know whether it will disappear. They could all get reprinted. Who knows? But if you want to last hurrah with it to just be sure, this looks like a great deck to do that in.
Yeah, why not take out the 3 Calhoun Callahans and stick in the bounce after and just go, right back to set 2.
Old school.
Yeah, I remember that was the missus' favourite card. That was, yeah, that was her nightmare of playing goat, bouncing it with Arthur, replaying it with goat, and gaining something like 4 lore. It's just like, what the hell? So yeah, it's a good option.
You had to play Smash.
Yeah, that was pretty much the only answer.
You had to deal with it.
Yeah. Maybe that's the secret tech for this week. Stick in the Arthur, and away we go. Okay, so that is it for the deck list for this week. We will bring you others again next week as the set champs continues to evolve throughout the set champ season. If you do have a deck yourself that you'd like to feature or like for us to talk about or review, drop us an email or drop us a comment below, and we can respond to you and we can sort that out. So going on to there, we have last week's flavor text game. So the flavor text from last week was, "It's my decision, my choice, and you won't stop me." So this was a little bit of a outlier card. It is something that was featured in the decks, but we wanted to bring you something that again had a name to it. So unfortunately, I don't think I actually spoke to anyone that got this one right. I think I went too difficult. But it was Desperate Plan, which was obviously said by Namari. So it's my decision, my choice, and you won't stop me. So yeah, it was a good one. I seem to catch everyone out. So does that mean I win? Maybe we need to have a tally. How many times I can stop people from getting it.
But then if we're going to do that, I'll have to do some of them, which means we go through all the puppies.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be difficult to guess, though, is it? You just look at a puppy card and work out which puppy card. It's like, it's Glenn's week to do the flavor text game. Which puppy have we got this week? Okay, so the flavor text for this week is a card that has featured on today's episode, and it is, "Say, let me do it, Mad Dog. It's my turn." So, who has that flavor text? Drop us a comment below. Let us know what you think, and we will reveal it in next week's episode. So, going on from there, we have some Lorcana news. So, we'll do a quick bit on some very urgent news, which actually happened today, which actually the exciting part of the Bologna tickets going live. So, we thought we'd do a live buy your ticket. Oh, well, yeah, that didn't work, did it? So, these sold out in 4 minutes. It wasn't a surprise, really. We knew they were going to sell out quick. I wasn't expecting that quick. Luckily, I was joking. We weren't planning on buying them live with you guys. We knew they would be sold out by now. But yeah, that's a bit insane. 4 minutes. But it went as fast as America, though. 4 minutes is fast, but they were an hour before it even went. So I think there was a bit of a mix-up somewhere. I don't know the full story. I think there might have been a website change or something happened and the tickets got released an hour earlier than they should have done, which is not good.
It's not good, is it?
I just feel so sorry for anyone that was trying to get tickets for it who was like, I wouldn't say like at work or whatever, and they had organised for their boss. Like, I wouldn't say if I was going for those tickets for Bologna, I would have said to work, look, I need to do something at 5 o'clock. I'm going to be busy. Can I work my lunch? And, I need to leave half an hour early. Imagine you've done that. You've got home half hour early and then the ticket's already sold out. You're just like, what? Yeah. So, yeah, it's a bit gutting, unfortunately.
But we've got... So, the thing is, we're going to have these challenges, right? They're the showcase pieces for Lorcana.
Yeah.
Right? They've got a broadcast team. They're streamed on Twitch. So you're looking to see, the big players. You're looking to see your, in Bologna or Bologna, depending on who you are. You're looking to see your species. You're looking to see your bakers as your personalities on the stream. And as far as we know, they haven't got tickets. And there will probably be some very big players that haven't managed to get tickets in this system.
Yeah.
And the US one sounds like it's going to be even worse, right? As you say, if those big players were hovering around to be around that button at that time, they wouldn't have been looking at the website an hour beforehand. So I think I don't know what you do, because I don't know how you can fairly decide who gets a guaranteed chance to buy the ticket or something anyway. So it is the only sort of fair way, first come, first serve. But it does. It feels a little bit disappointing if you've got this massive challenge event. For example, I don't know who's got tickets, who's not got tickets, but for example, if we were missing a DKP or missing an Ed Chu or missing a Zan Syed at one of these big tournaments, that just because the system, it's a lottery system, and they didn't manage to click the button and their website didn't refresh or whatever at that vital time is a real shame.
Yeah. It does make you wonder, and I think it has been discussed on a podcast. Is there a possibility that the top 8 from Worlds, so not all, what was it, 28 players? So not all 28, but the top 8 potentially should have got an invite to a DLC of their choice to guarantee themselves a chance to go again, because there's a chance they could not get a ticket for any of them.
Why not? To be fair, I'd be happy with saying why not the 28.
I mean, yeah,
28 out of several thousand, right, across those events. As you say, you just give them one. You can go to one.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, they've played really hard all year to get there. I think they deserve something. I mean,
I think
a couple of them mentioned. Nobody's been negative on it, but a couple of them have just sort of said it's a bit weird that
you start again.
They've reached that accolade, and then now they're the likes of me and you. We're all starting from that level base, which in a way is nice. But
it's nice for us. You got a chance to go to a DLC, sit opposite him, and then it's like, if I do well here, this is someone who played at Worlds last year. This is the hardest competition I'm probably going to come up against for a while. I've got to do my best here and see what happens. But it's not as nice for them because unfortunately they do have to start again. But I suppose that is the whole point of it. If you can prove yourself that you can go to these DLCs and win again, or be in the top, so qualify for the qualifiers and then qualify out of those into Worlds again, then obviously you are the best of the best. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. But yeah, the fact that unfortunately Bologna sold out in 4 minutes and the other one sold out an hour early is pretty mental. I think the other one's Milwaukee, so they're both in October. One's at the end of October, one's at the start, and yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I mean, you've got rotation in start of September, so you've only got a month, and then you've got Bologna. That's not long to work out what to play after rotation. That really isn't. It's like his 4 sets going away, now work out what to play. That's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, luckily it wasn't one I was going for anyway. But yeah, I wasn't expecting 4 minutes. I thought by the end of the night, sort of thing. I thought like the evening would come around, people would do it when they got home from work and whatever. But I suppose when you're talking, we only lost one event. We had 4 last time.
Yeah, we had 4 last.
So we've only lost 1. So technically, it is going to be slightly busier. But I think there are a lot of people from America and those side of things that have gone. Well, I'm going to the European ones as well then, because I've lost half.
3. They halve. Yeah.
If you're going to fly from say like Texas to the ones up in up by Chicago, wherever else the other events are, I can't even remember now. Let me just scroll down there. Like Richmond and Indianapolis. If you're going to fly from there to there, then it's like, paid a bit extra. Let's go on a European trip and go do one over there. So, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. But unfortunately, I don't think there's a lot they can do, like you say, unless they bring in some sort of raffle system where everyone applies and then it gets drawn out of a hat. But I don't think that's going to work. I think this obviously proves that there is a high demand for this, and hopefully, I don't think anything's going to be changed this time. They've already, pretty much said that they can't do anything this time. But hopefully, the World Season 3, will be a lot bigger and a lot stronger. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, as we said before, they've got the Ravensburger Play Hub and things now, so they're going to be getting data through set champs and obviously data through ticket sales, right? This is all data for them to kind of help them to gauge the demand for these things. But it's very clear that there's big demand.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So hopefully, Ravensburger will rise to meet it, give us more chances of playing at these large scale events. And I think it's obviously those people that are competing that want a shot at Worlds, want to go play. But I just think there's an awful lot of people that just want to be part of that community.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and we love playing, whether there's 8 of us on a Friday night, 20 odd of us at set champs, or 2,000 at a bigger competition. But that scale is a different experience.
yeah, yeah, 100%.
And it's something that was such a big part of our year last year.
Mm.
Taking Lily, having that weekend, it absolutely awesome. And you know, none of the other competitions that are around our way will give us that experience.
No,
Even the biggest sort of Lorcana tournaments that we could go to, just won't. There'll be great fun, great opportunity to bump into people and whatever else. But yeah,
but the thing is that they're not, are they? The 200 plus player events that you may attend, they don't stack. That's 10 times the amount at a DLC. It's a lot of people, and it really does give you an atmosphere, and you can tell a real buzz for the game, and everyone's excited, and everyone's like meeting up after each round. Oh, how'd you do? It really adds something to it, and like you say, whether you're going for that massive experience or whether you're going because you believe you're the best of the best that want to be at Worlds next year, there's going to be people there for both reasons, and that's what makes that environment and that thing so good. So yeah, it's unfortunately they are going to sell out extremely, extremely fast, but hopefully people are going to be more aware of it. If you are someone that wanted tickets to the Lanya but wasn't expecting them to sell out that fast, the Belgian one probably won't go on sale for a couple more months yet, but when they do, be prepared. They will go quick.
be prepared. Be on the website an hour early, just in case.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, talking about obviously the set champs, not set champs. Talking about DLC, obviously we did find out in the Lorecast that there is a way to potentially get yourself a qualification ticket to the European or North American Championship. I believe that was right, wasn't it? Because it skips DLC,
Yeah,
it goes straight to the championship, and that
that's right.
was the CCQ.
That's right. Yes, which is the new name for the third-party supported
Yes.
events.
Yeah, so basically the events that are taking place, there is a chance that your local event that is a third party event, not all of them will be, but there's a chance that one of them could be a CCQ event, which you'll be able to tell that it will have all the challenge branding and everything to go with it. And they're not saying how many. It could be just the winner. It could be the top two. It could be the top three. They're not confirming, but there is 24 places available in the EU and 24 in America. But that is going to be across the events. So there could be 2 in France, 2 in Germany. They're going to spread it out, but there's a chance of your third party event that's coming up in your area that there is a potential chance of qualification into the European Championship, which would be adds another thing and gives people another reason to go to these. But unfortunately, like we saw with our closest one at the minute, which was Cardiff, that again sold out on the day, and that was before we had this news. So, and that may turn into one of those events. So they did say that it could potentially change. So that sold out very quickly, and I think all the ones coming up will sell out just as quick. But we'll have to see. But it's good news. We'd rather be selling out events than not. So
yeah, it's fantastic news. It may lead to some of these events being upscaled, right? May lead to some of these that might have had a 200 player cap, saying actually, can we find a venue? Can we put something on that's more like sort of 500 players, which would be fantastic. So yeah, I think that's all really good, and a lot of these tournaments already give some pretty good prizing as well. So if this has given them that sort of recognition, that opportunity to scale up a little bit, yeah, all for that. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
And so the 24 places are coming out of last chance qualifiers. So there'll be a smaller last chance qualifiers for the continentals. So where there were 32 places available via last chance qualifiers. Last time there'll be 8 places available.
Yeah.
This time, but you still got a chance. So hopefully
I
you
think
can find somewhere.
I think it's actually better. I think when you looked at it, your chances of getting into the world's playoffs was actually better through last chance qualifiers than it was the DLC, because you had to win the DLC or come like second or third or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Whereas the last chance qualifiers, you had to win 5 games and you were through. So it was a lot technically easier to get through a last chance qualifier. Obviously, the player base was harder because the people were taking it very, very seriously. But technically, all you have to do is win 5 instead of 9 or now 12. So
yeah,
by them dropping that down to 8, you no longer have to win 5. You're probably looking more like, if it's an 8-round thing, you're probably going to have to win 7 or 8. So it makes that more difficult, which then balances everything out. So yeah, it's looking positive. Everything's looking positive, and like I say, sell-out events is always going to be better than not selling them out. And hopefully, it's going to drive more and more improvement for the game going forward. So
yep. And have we got much details on this Cardiff event as yet? I don't think we have we? But because it was originally billed as a celebration event
yes,
for Lorcana, so something a little bit different, and they have hinted at having some more community events. Again, we don't really have any details on what any of these are, but yeah, there was someone hired to the Ravensburger team, I believe, last year to kind of set these up and look at these. I don't know what you call them. They're kind of less competitive, more around the community side of just getting together and playing some Lorcana. So I'm interested to see what happens in Cardiff. Whether they bring anything else in there that sort of adds to that, gives people an opportunity to come in and join in without necessarily
yeah,
wanting to compete in the main event.
it's almost side events, isn't it? But on a big scale, So like you can still have the prize pool funding to gain your nice promos, your giant cards, stuff like that, but on a more of a casual player base than it being like super strict, like you're going for something
Yeah,
that's really, really good sort of thing, or really expensive or whatever else. It's an enjoyment thing that you can go ahead and win prizes at the same time sort of thing. Currently, I don't think there is anything out there, but I've just checked on their website. They're still sold out. They haven't lifted the cap or anything. I don't imagine they will. As far as I remember, they're capped out unless they manage to move the entire event and stuff like that. But there may be other organisers who have seen this, who have seen the results from Bologna today and gone, right, we haven't finalised ours yet. Let's expand it. So hopefully that means we'll have some bigger events coming. Unfortunately, I think we are in an awkward position in the UK that we don't have those sort of huge events. There's a lot of them in France and Italy, some in Germany, but we don't seem to have the massive events or the ones that seem to be able to do it almost on a monthly basis. Ours are sort of one a set, which obviously I'm not complaining about. One a set's better than none, but unfortunately we are kind of stuck at the minute. So if anyone wants to start an events organisation, and we can come help.
do it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, some of the tournaments in the US are getting serious in size,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
There was a Charlie's collectible show, I think, just did a 25k, and one of those big ones is talking about seeing if they can up it to a 50k. I
yeah.
mean, those are huge amounts of prize money, and and they've got I think they've got a qualification system within their own um, their own events now as well. If you go to one of these events hosted by one of the I think it's Charlie's Collectible Show and Southside Gaming are two of the big ones. So they have a series of events going on, and you get points for doing well in those events, and then you get if you do well enough, you get an invitation to a special event towards the end of the year, which is like a mega prize event. So so shame we haven't got any of that over here, but it's just good to see it growing. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
I remember when they were putting the first like 1K events on and 5K events, in
Yeah.
the US and stuff, and that seemed like huge. And now they're regularly putting on these mass prize events
Whereas
and
they're
selling them out.
starting those 1K and 5Ks over here, aren't they? So, I think there's one in, say, like Norwich or somewhere like that in like next month or the month after, which is a 1K event. It's a starting ground. If we can start having these and they realise that they sell out, these could grow. So, it unfortunately, as much as it's difficult, because when you compare our Lorcana scene to America, it's a big gap. But if you look at it and say, well, this is what we have, let's make the most of it, and you do sell out those 1K events, then they are more likely to go, right, let's do this again. So we just have to, turn up and hope for the best. So that is it for this week's episode. But like we said, we're going to bring you more Set Champs decks in the following weeks. We're really hotting up in the season now. We've got the first week out of the way, 4 more weeks to go. So if you have a deck that you want us to cover, please let us know. And we're hopefully, fingers crossed, Glenn, this weekend goes well, and we'll just cover our deck next week, winning Set Champs deck.
Fingers
I
crossed.
hold the playmat up in front of my camera again, it's perfect. Even if I have to borrow your one,
If not, we'll bring you the bucket and spade from the beach.
That's a good point. Yeah. If not, we'll take some photos and some ice cream. What more could you want, eh? So, as always, thank you very much for joining us. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It does massively help us out. And so it's time to roll up that playmat.
Pack away the dice.
And remember, stay uninkable.
See you next time.
See you next time.